Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's take a walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Weyerbacher Brewing, these guys out of Easton, Pennsylvania. This is their Cinnsanity. And what this beer is, according to what it said on the label, barley wine ale aged in bourbon barrels, oh yeah, with cinnamon added. So they kicked it up a notch by doing the cinnamon thing. And they're using this bright blue ink here, and it says bottled on 03/02/17, and they're giving us a long shelf life. They want you to have about 03/02 of 2022. That's a long way off. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 5-year shelf life on this. So this should, I don't know if the cinnamon will fade over time. I'm not aware of that, so this should be a good one to sell her if you so choose to. Pick you up a 4-pack. It's probably done in a 4-pack. This was sent to me by Rico, and the note he sent me on this one says 13.3% barley wine ale with 35 IBUs, according to Untapped. This is basically their Cinnsanity ale that they have aged in whiskey barrels and added cinnamon. He said he bought it for $4, and it's sold in 4-packs. And I told you when it was packaged by on there. So, long shelf life on this one, but it is a huge beer. At 13.3%, this beer is going to keep for a long time, guys. I don't know how much the cinnamon will fade over time, or if it does, it may not. It's not like coffee, maybe, or hops in a hoppy beer. So, maybe it's a good one to sell there, I'm not sure. But Rico sent it to me, so we're going to do it. Commercial description says basically what Rico just said. We've taken Cinnsanity and aged it in whiskey barrels of cinnamon. The result is Cinnsanity. The addition brings a complementary, that's easy for me to say, complementary note of cinnamon to the already present notes of bourbon, cherry, and vanilla. The smooth 13.3% ABV brew is warming and balanced with subtle sweetness and a hint of spiciness thanks to the addition of cinnamon. So, that's all we need to talk about. So let's stop talking. Let's start pouring. And then start drinking. Big hiss, guys. That tells me it's fairly well carbonated, probably. Food pairings for this says the cheeses are sharp blue cheddar. Your more pungent, stronger cheeses, Gorgonzola, Limburger, and it says general digestive. Glassware to pint, Becker, Nonic tumbler snifter, oversized wine glass. Got my favorite snifter today, the Sovereign beer glass, and can be cellar for a long period of time. So, didn't pour a very big head. It is a kind of a murky brown color, like the barley wines are. Very cloudy. Can't see any light through it. Even down through here, it's very cloudy on the thin part. Let's put the nose to it. The cinnamon is off the chain, guys. That is all I'm getting on the nose is cinnamon. Cinnamon, cinnamon, and more cinnamon. If it was a school bus, it would be taking up every damn seat. That's all I'm getting. I'm not getting any hints of the barrel aging. The cinnamon's even covering up the alcohol. It does have a nice sweetness like most barley wines do, but it is over the top with cinnamon. I hope it's not that way in the taste. I'm trying to find the barrel aging bourbon or whatever, whiskey, whatever they did. Bourbon is a kind of whiskey. But the cinnamon is just too strong. Well, let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. It is tasty. Even though, if you don't like cinnamon, you are not going to like this. A little bit of heat on the back end, kind of hidden because of the cinnamon. If you like cinnamon, you're going to love this. And this is a big one too at 13.3%. The alcohol is super well hidden for 13.3%, but I know why. The cinnamon is overpowering that. It's a little heavy on the cinnamon in my opinion. I don't mind a mild influence of cinnamon, but I don't want it masking everything else that's in the beer. And that's what this one is doing. It is definitely different. It's a nice change up from your typical barley wine, having that much cinnamon in it, but boy, it's there. To me, just my opinion, and this is all I'm going to say about it before I go, it's a little over the top in the cinnamon. They've overpowered this beer and masked everything else, especially barrel aging this beer. That has masked that completely up. Of course, it's right out of the fridge at 40 degrees. Some of those aromas may come out as I'm sipping on them, let it come up to room temperature. But it's a little over the top on the cinnamon. But it's telling you that right on the label. It's barley wine Anheuser-Busch with cinnamon, with a lot of cinnamon on top of that. Well, let's let it warm up, let her taste it, and sip on it for a little bit, and see if I can taste anything else other than the cinnamon when I come back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sitting there for a little while. It's left absolutely no lacing on the glass. The cinnamon's overpowering this beer, big time. It's a nice change. I would definitely wouldn't want to drink much of this. I am getting a little bit of the vanilla from the bourbon barrels or whiskey barrels, whichever. But the cinnamon is still overpowering everything. If you like cinnamon, you'll probably love this. I think it's a little overdone. Final chug. For 13.3%, the alcohol is fairly well hidden. But the cinnamon is just so strong on this beer. I think even the cinnamon's giving me a little bit of burn on the back of the throat. Can't tell if it's the alcohol or the cinnamon because it's masked so heavily with the cinnamon. Okay beer, but not impressive. Definitely not an A beer to me, guys. I'm going to give this a B, 85 right down the middle on this beer. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 85. Imagine that. We're in agreement here. Over to Rate Beer says 86. So pretty close numbers there. And final check-in, we'll run over to Untapped. And Untapped has it at 3.72, which is in their B category also. So everybody's pretty much in agreement there. It's a B beer. The cinnamon is a little overpowering for this beer in my opinion. Just my opinion though. If you're a big cinnamon fan, you'll probably really like this if you like a heavier, strong ABV beer, which you can't really tell because the cinnamon is masking everything. Everything. Absolutely everything. So, my personal opinion, I think they wasted their time putting it in a barrel and aging it because you're not getting any of that. The cinnamon is overpowering everything. So, that's what I think on this one, guys. I do appreciate Rico picking it up and letting me try it. It's a different beer as far as a barley wine with that much cinnamon, but something different. So glad I got to try it. Rico, thanks again, my brother. I do appreciate it. If you've had this one from Weyerbacher Brewing, their Cinnsanity, their heavily overdosed cinnamon version of their barrel-aged barley wine. So If you've had it, let me know. This is their 2017 edition according to what's written on the bottle. So I don't know if they've done it before. Probably not. This is probably something new from the Cinnsanity version that they wanted to do something a little different with. I think it's a little too heavy on the cinnamon. I guess you figured it out by now. Alright, if you've had it, guys, let me know what you think. Come on back tomorrow. Let's dig something out of the fridge. See you then.